Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you guys my Infinite Loop Raizer deck profile for March 2018. Now when I say Infinite Loop Raizers, the first thing that came to my thought when we had the reveal for the G Guardian Meteor Kaiser Dogen Titan is that the fact that you can flip this card down for the flip up effect for damage or card on your circle means that you could basically put your G's Guardians back into your stride zone to reuse again. And I thought the deck that could, work with this the best would be Raizers, just because they are the Nova Grappler Legion. So putting back your heal triggers, your grade 3s, and just cycling through the deck constantly, not so much decking out, but also reusing heal triggers to heal damage, and then also obviously reuse the G Guardians that you put back again. So I thought, why not bring you guys a deck profile? So let's go ahead and get started. Now, I don't have a complete G-Zone for this deck, but the G-Zone isn't as important as basically having the cards just that you need to do the Infinite Loop. 2 Victoplasma. I would run 4, just a very good staple basic restander of the deck. You don't use your counterblast too much with this, so keeping that at 2. Same with just generic strides if you have them. If you have the Victor strides, throw them in. Any generics work well with the deck, obviously. So if you have them, use them, even if you have to use them for like G-Assist or stuff like that. Strides definitely help in any situation that it calls for. And for the G Guardians, which was basically the main focus of this deck profile, the 2 Meteor Kaiser Junior, sorry about that, but pretty standard for the counter charge for the +5 when placed on Guardian Circle. If you don't have any face-up cards in your damage zone, counter charge 2 gets +5 shield. When it's placed on Guardian Circle, if you don't have any cards in your soul charge 2. This unit gets +5,000 to the end of the turn. So perfect use for setting up the G Guard for Dogen Titan, obviously, which requires soul. But keeping to this just for helping when, like I said, you use your resources up. 1 Meteor Kaiser Gundred for the unflip potential as well, and just for the additional use for G Guards depending on what effect you need. And the most important G Guard, which is Dogen Titan. This one is if the number of your rear guards is less than your opponent's, this card gets shield plus 10,000, so an easy plus 10 shield to make use of, especially with the units we've picked in this deck. And the Soul Blast effect, turn this face up card face down, choose a card on your circle or your damage zone and turn it face up. So take care of locked units, which was a big problem for me whenever I tested this deck out. Also damage, which can help as well. But also what I found, if you use this card with Gundred and turn it face up, you can basically just turn it back face down and not have to ever even use it. If you don't want to for the Soul Blast, you just want to use Gundred for better potential, and it gives that your Vanguard the counter charge effect all in itself. So more resources to use basically with these 2, and you only really need to run 2 because you're going to be flipping them face down. So I thought better to keep your options open with different G Guardians and then just maneuver the 2 that you have, because at most potential wise you'll only want to unflip 2 things at a time with this card during your turn when that comes around. And then moving on to the main deck, I run 4 Ultimate Raizer Mega Flare. The deck otherwise pretty standard for Raizers, but still made in the sense that you can move through the deck the fastest with Cat Butler and whatnot. So the 4 Mega Flares are the only grade 3 ran in the deck. It's really all you need to see on your Vanguard with its restand capabilities and pressure. Perfect grade 3 to ride onto. 4 grade 2s. I run 4 Ultimate Raizer Dual Flare. With this card, basically, you have your Legion stand capabilities with +5 pressure, so get off your multiple attacks with this unit. And also 4 Phoenix Raizer Flamewing. Now, this is just 12k pressure. I went back and forth between this card and the 10k Raizer, depending on what I wanted, a good ride target. But most of the time with the Legion, you're guarding anyway, so you can have this or the 10k in my opinion. It's player preference at that point depending on what you want. You don't use this mate with the Legion, obviously. The mate 2 Mega Flare is Dual Flare, so that's the one you need to run definitely, especially if you want guaranteed loop with the deck, run 4 and 4. But like I said, preference 10k if you want it. Throw this out and put that in. And another one that I like is 3 Street Bouncer. Now this helps early game draw if you need to get into your grade 3 faster. I'll get to the play with this one obviously later in the video, but Street Bouncer helps with the draw power, and then after you use its rest effect, a potential interceptor during your opponent's turn when they have a kind of weaker attack works very well with the 10k play if need be, but just as well if your opponent's attacking for anything less than 14k against your 9k Vanguard. And for grade 1s, I would run the Countercharge Perfect Guard, Lady Cyclone. Sadly, I don't have her, but Shield Raizer was in here since I ran Raizers from the beginning, just for the Legion power-up, but definitely would run Lady Cyclone for her Countercharge power to assist with other cards in the deck. And I also run 4 Jet Raizer. You Counterblast 1, put this card into your soul. When an attack hits a Vanguard during the battle that this unit boosted Nova Grappler, you may pay the cost. Choose one of your rear guards with Raizer in its card name and stand it. So stand cards like Flame Ring, which is what I kind of preferred for when it's on rear guard, because it is that 12k attacker, and restanding if you get trigger power, give all the effects to it, then restand it with Jet Raizer, making a 17k, again, possibly potential critical as well. And I also run 3 Extreme Battler Arshid with this, just stride assistance, really. None of the Raizers are specific with their cards besides Jet Raizer and Mega Flare, and most of their restand effects anyway will involve Raizers that are stronger, including the grade 2s, which we run enough of in the deck, so he's just in here for that stride fodder assist. And also another important card is Energy Charger. Now with this one, you basically want to make sure you have 2 Raizer grade 3s to make use of. Don't stride with them because you'll need them for the loop power. You'll basically make Legion with the first one and then ride on the next one with the second, and then you'll use the Energy Charger to Soul Blast 2, draw a card, and have them in the drop zone, re-Legion the 3, and the heal triggers back into the deck, the mate as well if you need to, but the mate will be an easy grab since that's what you'll be searching for the Legion. And then obviously your draw power as well from this makes it a full good circle use. If you have the 3 of these and you haven't gone through all your grade 3s and 2s for the Legion in the deck yet, you'll basically go full round circle with this card. So as long as they're not on your soul, you're able to keep the loop going. That's it for the grade 1s. For grade 0s, your starter, Transmigrating Evolution, Mirau. This is the grade 3 searcher. I run this just to search out the Mega Flare, obviously. Pretty important that you have that grade 3 in your hand, because otherwise the deck would just fall apart, not being able to stride or anything like that. And also with this card, if you place it on the rear guard circle and you basically call Street Bouncer into that column, you can rest Street Bouncer and this card, draw a card, and then if you didn't get it yet, this card's already rest and basically not any use for an attack. Counterblast 1, put it into the soul, check top 5 for a grade 3, and you've made full use of this for the draw for Street Bouncer and for the draw, not the draw, the search for your Raizer grade 3. And obviously also for Cat Butler, this is for the restanding with Mega Flare, basic standard use in a Raizer deck. And for the trigger lineup, I stuck with the 12 crit for now, just to see how that pressure would work. Very well when you stride, obviously, but the 4 Red Lightnings, the 4 minimum Raizer, and the 4 Meteor Raizer, just for the Raizer theme basically. If you want to run the new Blau crit for the GB1 power, you can try that as well, just for those options available to you. Same with the, if you want to run the new Blau heal as well and have an effect heal instead of Raizer Girl Kate, you can do that as well. Just didn't have a full playset to throw into the deck, but those definitely help for the Soul Charge and Counter Charge power whenever you want to do it. The one thing I don't like about the Blau one and why I might run the one that works with Gundred is because you have to bind those heal triggers, so you can't put them back in the deck to reuse for the infinite loop. So at best, don't use those heals and use that one if you really want to use one. But basically, the whole deal works around, like I said, making Legion with Mega Flare, sticking on this Legion, going through your heal triggers, either by drive checking them, getting them in your damage, then healing them again, putting them in the drop zone, and then you could basically go through the 3 grade 3s that you have, ride over it, and then basically using Energy Charger, or if they're already in the deck, Legion back the heals to make use, Soul Blast them if you need to, throw them back into the deck with the Legion as well, and then you'll either drive check the heals, the grade 3 to hold on to, and you'll have your loop set whenever you use your G Guardian, having the Dogen Titan face up to flip face down, and then you can basically, the loop is just constantly going through G Guardians, dropping them for the G Guard, flipping them back face down, and then throwing them back with the many legions you could do. I just thought it was super, super fun when the idea first hit my head, being able to go through it constantly. I wanted to share it with you guys in case a couple of you didn't consider this possibility. It's definitely a fun deck, but it's one that I've enjoyed testing out, just with all the different capabilities that the Raizer deck still has. Definitely need a Raizer Stride. That would be very, very helpful with the deck. But I hope you all enjoyed the video. Once again, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And until next time, Kira Qualia out.